Let's go.
Hi, everybody. Good evening, good day, hello. Nice to be here once again. So, we would like to have a quick introduction. My name is Emmanuel Hade. With me are
Tommy Loba.
Like the Cody.
Mayor Crown.
And Kunda Yakin.
wonderful. It's great to have every one of us once again. And today, one of the topics we'll be talking about is going to be about Peter Obi. I'm very sure we can remember the last time we spoke about Nigerian politics and every single person running presently for the presidential election. Today, we will be specializing on our Honorable His Excellency, the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi. We know he's a businessman. We know he's a politician. We know he used to be a PDP candidate and official who, along the line, moved to Labour Party. So today, our discussion is going to be about it. It's going to be a little bit of his background and more of his ideas about the politics of today and how we are going to move the nation forward and his concept about it. Today, I think I would just like to speak just a little bit about one of the things that made me, should I say, like Mr. Peter Obi, which would be the concept of his with him being articulate. You know, with the present people we have on ground, with the likes of Bat, our uncle, or should I say, our long-time running politician, who is, we've seen that recently has had some eloquent issues or not being able to stand in places and give proper debates concerning politics or how to make the country a better place. Or Atiku, who we have not practically seen anywhere, but is also running for the election. But we see this other man who is of the idea that he's not as old as these other guys. I mean, it was said that our former governor of Lagos State, His Excellency, Tinubu, had to reduce his age at some point. So we know that presently...
Allegedly.
Allegedly, thank you. Allegedly has to reduce his age. So we know that presently the Labour Party candidate is having his great time. He says he's young, he gives us figures, numbers. It brings out educated and very liberal sense of how to run the nation and get things better. And something we know is people are really going ahead with this. They are falling behind it because it sounds knowledgeable enough. Very knowledgeable. One of his ideas was trying to make the economy pay as it work, which is instead of running the whole month and then you get paid by the fees you are supposed to get paid, or probably you are told that this is your salary. It will rather be based on your hours of work. So there will be a standard wage for everybody working in the nation, according to what he's talking about. These are views that kind of
okay. In that instance, how is that different from having the minimum wage that we already have?
Yeah, funny enough, in the increment of minimum wage, as it is spoken about. But what is spoke about was how the minimum wage will now be disbursed per time instead of the salary concept of, okay, you are level 16, your salary is fixed, this is what you'll be getting. You are level 8, your salary is fixed, this is what you'll be getting. But now you want to make it a way that people come to work. So this concept of ghost workers, I think is trying to find a way to, all these things have its disadvantages as much as its advantages, because we know that ghost workers in the first instance, they are not there, but they are getting paid. So him trying to cancel it out also, hopefully hopefully looking at it, logically also looking at it, you know that there's going to be a lot of fights as much as there's going to be a lot of trying to succeed in this nation concerning these political issues and these ideas. I don't know if you have some
in my own opinion
or ideologies.
In my own opinion, one of the things that I've kind of struggled with in terms of is Peter Obi. Now, let me break it down into this. Number one, when people talk about a breath of fresh air, a new candidate, a departure from the norm, things like that. That's what they often talk about within the context of Peter Obi as a candidate. And in my own opinion, I don't think he is really all that.
Yeah.
He's not, for me, he's not a departure from the norm. Like I said the last time we were having this conversation, that at the end of the day, this is somebody who has also been a part of the ruling party before. If he had been allowed to be the running candidate of PDP, he will be a candidate of PDP today.
PDP.
Exactly. So now, let us forget this whole idea. At the end of the day, I'm not saying that we have to go and look for maybe Feladro Otoye that has never been in politics before we get a good leader. We may still get a good leader from the people that has been in politics one time or the other. But I feel like his supporters should stop that idea of calling him like he has not been part of the government before. He's a new face. He's not a new face. Last, I think he was the running mate for Atiku in the last election. Now, if my memory is right. So that means that at a point in time, whatever you call Atiku today, he and Obi share the same agenda. So for them to have run together. So today, if they are now running in the same party, we cannot really say for sure that their ideas are totally different from each other's idea. Except if you want to tell me that, okay, in the last 4 years, Peter Obi has just discovered that, okay, his own ideology is different from Atiku's ideology, and that makes him now a different man. Because for me, that's one of the things that makes
as much as I like Peter Obi, my own question here is what makes him a different man? Because
exactly
we just keep speaking of Peter Obi, especially my wife from last week, because I listened to his podcast. So you can't tell me Peter Obi is a saint, because even when he ruled as a governor, he had like a jurisdiction where he was ruling, and we had no idea of how the East was like during his time in office. We are not saying it because we want fresh air, like Tommy said, because I remember back when I was in school, I hated Jonathan for a reason. And I think the reason affected most of us here. That's because I sat up for 1 year strike, and I just felt I needed a new face. Then I gave chance to Buhari.
Say Baba.
Buhari came into office now. What I was running from was what Buhari did. People sat at home last year for more than a year. So he even broke the record of Jonathan. So now we are trying to jump onto Peter Obi now, like the new face again. Now it's just like a repeated pattern for me. I like Peter Obi fine, but it's like a repeated pattern. Okay, now how well do we know him? Like Tommy said again, he's from a party that has been ruling for like 16 years before APC took over. And now, if he was allowed to run for presidency, that means he will still dance to whatever they want him to do. So what is it bringing different from what he was trying to offer in PDP and now in APC?
That's exactly my point. That's
what I want to know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, Mayor, you must talk.
Okay.
No. Exactly.
In reality,
Not like there's anything much to say. Just to buttress what you said. All these people, like we said in our last podcast, they are just coming with the same trend. There's nothing better than what we have always had. Like, once anyone comes on board, like, it does get worse than the previous candidates that we had, that we were even thinking would be better. Like what you said now, you hated Jonathan's regime. Okay, now we're all saying, say Baba, this one, that one. And also because we're seeing Osibajo by side as his part.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, all of us, we did what? We say, okay, no, nobody's going to hold me back from casting my vote. We went ahead, we went out en masse, and we did we casted our vote. The same thing now, another thing is also coming up now. We still don't, we don't know what, something has to change. At least we need to see that, okay, this person will actually be bringing in a difference to what has always been. So I just believe that there's still something we're actually not really getting right. That needs to be put in place.
It's like
I don't know if you get
wants to.
Yes,
let me chip in.
if you say with you, please hold
Let
on.
me chip in a small confusion. So,
Okay, sir.
go
Right,
say Peter Obi. I before this podcast, so I had time to watch an interview online. So we say Peter Obi is this, Peter Obi is that. Yes, it's a saint. Yes, it's this, it's that. But before I left Lagos, I have a roommate in the house, Afa. Afa will tell you he hates Peter Obi. And okay, I was like, okay, let me pick Afa's side tonight. And let me even see if I can hate Peter Obi for maybe just for this night. Then 2 questions I will ask those that are Peter Obi lovers. Number 1, the time when Peter Obi was in office as a governor, he had an offshore account. And that was against the law as at then. How come? What was he using an offshore account to do? Secondly, he's donor of Next Cash and Carry. And he even launched it during his tenure as a governor. So these two, there are so many things he did in office, but the 2 common one was having an offshore account, which is against the law as a governor, and he opened a supermarket. And there's even a 3rd one that says he owns a brewery company. So I will say the money he saw in office.
While he was in office?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I heard the same thing. Wow. I think when they asked him, he said he opened it as a state property or something, or maybe a state business for the Anambra
State. In his name.
Whereas the revenue was going into his own
personally into his.
That means many people don't even know much about Peter Obi yet.
That's very true. The concept of looking for a messiah has naturally blinded up Nigerians. Don't let's take it to Africans now. It's naturally blinds Nigerians from digging deep enough.
Yeah.
And something is very rampant with Nigerians. Once you can paint a picture and give it enough volume, everybody follows along.
Exactly.
Not everybody wants to dig in deep enough to know what exactly is going on or who is this person. But presently, people are just beginning to come out to realize that during our president's term, his regime then, he actually had a lot of bad resources and a lot of bad actions. But people never thought of it. History was scrapped from school. I mean, a lot of information that are meant to be made possible to people were taken away. So now people are now coming, the old ones are now coming to say that we were against this because this man did this during his period.
Yeah.
Now people could even get more information about concerning Peter Obi, probably from his state and things they have done.
Yeah. Do you know the one thing that I find unique about we Nigerians, just like we said the last time, is that we have sometimes you can have like a short memory in the sense of when I can remember when Buhari contested against Yaradua. When it was Yaradua Jonathan back then, people were really talking about Buhari's military regime, how bad things were. Buhari Deagon regime, how they were, what's this thing called? War against indiscipline, how soldiers were beating people on the streets, all these things. And those were the things that were in the media all the time that made us see Buhari as a bad. Nobody wants to vote for Buhari back then.
Tommy,
Ben,
let me refresh your memory. Don't go to the 90s. Let's come to the 20s. Now, in Nigeria, I was lying down flat in the house because of the gunshot emotion. Now, before I left Lagos again, I think in December, I was to drive from Maryland, from the mainland to the island to go pick my brother from work. I was forced to call that lady that come. Just take a cab from work down to the house because I can't come. Do you know why? I saw people, mothers, fathers. To me, I count them being stupid. Wearing polo that had Tinubu name on it, and these are the same people that came out 2 years ago To
say
NSAS.
No. Wait. What I would say in that regard is this: there are some people that believe that the sins of Buhari should not be allocated or inherited by Tinubu.
Exactly.
But we know that Buhari is not the ruler of Lagos.
Thank you. And they saw the shooting come from the same Tinubu.
No. But you know that is an allegation because nobody actually knows. And another thing is that some of those claims, if you look at this thing, Nigerian politics, and to my point, when politicians want to ruin a person's name or soil his name, there is always something to talk about. Now, okay, back then it was how Buhari and Idiagbon were. That's what that was the major thing. Suddenly, when they wanted to paint Buhari good enough for us to vote for, we forgot all those things. All we knew was say Baba, and we voted for. In fact, I'm sure they didn't even have to rig that election. Everybody came out. Well, not necessarily everybody, but exactly a large number of people voted for. But then that was the same Buhari when 4 or 8 years before we didn't even want to hear his name. Suddenly he became the desired candidate, and he was now like our messiah.
The power of media.
In this case, now we are talking about Peter Obi. Okay, Dio, just 1 second.
Okay, Dio.
Can I just chip in?
Okay, go on.
We're, like, from what we are saying now, I believe all the people that are listed here, no matter, there's nothing we can do about them. I think they are the forefront. The Atiku, Tinubu, and Obi. I think they are the ones that, no matter what we do, no matter what we say.
Yeah, but then in this case, what we are saying is what makes Obi a unique candidate?
Yeah,
Tommy, you have the answer already.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
Tommy, you have the answer already.
The only way we can check and evaluate and know which one is which is by knowing what they are promising to do. What is their plan? Dio, what is their agenda?
Dio, I see it beyond that because Tommy just said something. I don't know. I keep reading more meaning into what Tommy keeps saying. Nigeria don't look for what they have to offer. We only look for a messiah. We look for a messiah. We get fed up. We get fed up. We don't want politics here. We get fed up and just look like, we don't look from the inside. We look from the outside and just like I did that year. I'm tired of Jonathan. Let me move to Buhari.
Yeah, the new name.
I'm tired of Buhari.
It's not about agenda.
Everybody's shouting.
Exactly.
Let me ask you a question. Have we sat down as a citizen and go to OBI manifesto? No. I can tell you that 90% of people out there have not done that. So we are not even after what they want to offer us. We are just being here on the podcast because we are educated.
You flesh. You blood.
People out there are dear to us, and what they just know is give me Peter Obi. Maybe Nigeria will be better.
So
even people who are educated, I think by the time they are able to pick up 1, 2, 3 points from what Peter Obi is saying, without even evaluating the practicality of those ideas, all they just know is that he has said that Egypt, he traveled to Egypt and he found out how they supply electricity. How does that answer the question of how are you going to produce more megawatts of electricity?
You don't chop
Nigeria. You know the funny part is
I think
with how much
I think we can we based on the fact that we are on a podcast and we don't know what this might get to, how this might go about reaching people, our audience. I think what we should try and, because if we say, okay, let's talk about Peter Obi, and all we are saying is his bad qualities, is this and that. I think our next segment and other segments are...
No. Well, you know what we are trying to do is this. We are not even trying to... By the time we are done with this series, I guess our listeners will know that we are not taking sides with anybody. We are coming to Tinubu. We are coming to Atiku.
I just want understanding of
exactly. So that we can
not even supported anybody thus far.
Exactly. So that we can wake up from the idea of one person is a messiah. None of them.
People want us to.
Nobody is a messiah.
We could do another podcast and now even take the good side about him.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Let's look at some of the things that makes him a good candidate. If we want to do that, fine. He's younger, true, compared to the other two guys. No matter, even if we say, well, he's been part of the system, something. Okay, maybe at least when they bring out his report card, he doesn't have as much scandal as the others. Yeah, we can give him that.
That's the only difference I can see here.
We can say
that's the only difference.
He doesn't have as much scandal. He's for some people they believe that, which is something that we unanimously disagreed with last time in our podcast, that we don't agree with this idea of it is the turn of one region. But for some people, they are trying to vote for him because they believe that, okay, that region has been marginalized, so he's supposed to come and represent that region and everything.
We said he invested in the brewery industry, like I said earlier on. Now, let's go on the good side. So there was a saying sometimes ago that people have not come to vote Peter Obi that he stole public fund or he did this. Instead, people are saying he used public fund for what? Investment. Mm-hmm. So that's a good sign, because you can't attach any fraud or any fraudulent act to him. Instead, all what people keep saying is
it's just allegations.
It's just and it's even, to me, it's still a good allegation, because if you can use funds to do something we can actually see and it's even bringing returns, to me, it's still
that even gets people.
But my clause there is that if it is bringing returns, is the returns coming to all of us, national cake or personal pocket?
It creates employment for others.
Personal pocket and his people. The people there's
a job creation there.
I think also in a way he has always been eloquent, and if something is of like in the dark to people that people are asking him about, I think he comes out to clarify himself.
Yeah, like I think he's a very intelligent person. So
exactly, we need somebody that can be accountable to actually, because it's not about when we are asking about some people's
there will be no Tinubu slander on this podcast.
Okay, that's cool. But I think on that account, actually, I think it's somebody is showing accountability.
Okay, yeah. At least being able to answer those questions. Yeah,
exactly. Is accountability. And that's one of the things we should, the good qualities of a good leader.
A leader, yeah. But one thing that I have that surprises me in terms of politics is, before now, I always think some things happen in a politically underdeveloped country. Oh, why will old people still be running to be our president in Nigeria? Then you now look at America, the most politically developed country, or the most democratic country in the world, and the president is also a old man. The president, as a matter of fact, the reality is that he actually, the same things that Tinubu suffers from, I feel like it is the same with him, because sometimes when he's talking, he gets slurred speeches, he forgets some of the things he says and things like that. And then I'll now ask myself, why is it? That means it's not just a Nigerian thing, I guess. It's all over the world. It just comes down to, okay, when we are supporting this person, we just look at that thing that we like and we just close our eyes on everything else.
Yes, but from another angle, I think there's a platform. There's no platform for the youth to run here in Nigeria. Because before you say you want to come out for such positions, we have those people that have been waiting for years and are still there and are not ready to leave. So that's the problem we have been faced here.
Because imagine Atiku has been running for president since MKO Abiola.
If it's not 91 or 92 or when,
and he's still running for president.
What about Buhari? What about Tinubu that was a senator even before he became a governor?
Exactly. I'm sure Tinubu is older than. In fact, I'm saying Tinubu's first son is probably older than the president of Canada.
Yes.
But we are still okay. Now back to this topic of Peter Obi. Another thing I think people are missing on is this idea of being president, and the idea that okay, when one person becomes president, and if he's a good man, things will just change. But I feel like people are forgetting that in our constitution, the powers of the president are subject to the powers of the Senate. In the sense that the president can almost not do any capital project without the input of the Senate. So what happens if we all vote for, let's say Peter Obi? Let's say we all vote for Peter Obi. How about those seats in the Senate? What if APC takes over the majority of the Senate? Would they really allow Peter Obi to be able to achieve the things that he wants to achieve? Or are we going to end up in a situation where Peter Obi will be president? We will still be blaming APC for the lack of development because Peter Obi cannot do anything.
See,
that's quite deep, though.
I don't think we are ready for politics in Nigeria, because this same thing was what I did said in the last podcast, because I listened to it over. What happened with Saraki and
exactly and Buhari?
So
yeah.
If I keep telling people I like Peter Obi, well, this guy can't function. Him entering there does have anybody in the Senate, does have anybody in the House, both federal and both state.
Yeah.
This guy is just going there maybe for namesake, because he will be frustrated and probably, I don't know if that can happen.
And 4 years from now, we'll probably start saying, when Buhari left, dollar was 750. Now dollar is 1,005.
If they don't impeach him, will even last 4 years? When he has
1,005.
No, wait, Dayo. Who knew that when the dollar was 150 during Obasanjo, it will ever become 750 naira?
Yes, whoever.
Nobody could imagine it now.
It's appalling.
So what happens if all his economic plans, these powers that be, don't allow him achieve it? That means the same people that are supporting Peter Obi now will come back and be the ones defending him by saying that, it's the APC field Senate that didn't allow him to do this. It is the PDP controlled house that didn't allow him to do this. So I guess maybe if you are a Peter Obi supporter, I guess another thing is when you are voting, when you pick up that ballot box, don't just vote Labour Party on president alone, Peter Obi. Make sure that all the constituencies in your area that you can vote in, you are voting Labour Party. If not, and I don't even know if Labour Party has that kind of reach to be able to campaign for all their other little small Senate positions and all those things. If not, the guy will just enter and it will just be blame sharing. We'll shift blame to this one, shift blame to this one, and another 4 years will pass.
They can even impeach him.
Exactly. So before you know it will now just look like another waste of time. And time wasted in politics is people's life that is at risk.
See, me, I've said time to time over. The best way is just to have, I don't know if they can just. Okay, let me say it here, because I don't want them to come for me. Because it's becoming difficult for people to live, and I don't know if people can see from that angle. I know how difficult things are in Nigeria, but just imagine if dollar is on 200 now, or dollar is even 100 now. See, you can easily just come abroad, go for masters, and be happy to go back home. There's no need for us to japa. Even japa now is expensive, because at what rate are you buying pounds or dollars to pay your school fee? And the system is even becoming so, I don't know.
And we are pumping our naira into the economies of the countries we are jackpying into.
Exactly.
We are pumping the economy. We are just, it's something. Nigeria is just a shit hole. Sorry to say for most of you in Nigeria.
No. But reality of it is, look, at the end of the day, if we, okay, let me pose it as a question, Lexi or Dayo. In this situation, say you have the opportunity to make a radical change in terms of political parties, in terms of the settings we have right now. What exactly do you think you can do that will make a difference?
Okay, I think we're taking towards like same direction. I don't know, maybe, but let me just say something. You went to Egypt to check out power sector.
Yeah.
You came back and you saw what worked for them over there. Now, do you have to wait to become president? That's to show you how disunited we are in that country. You have
before you lend the ideas to the government.
Because Tommy, Cotonou is just right beside us. I and Dayo went to Togo just last year, April, and Kenya. I was in Kenya in November. They took light in Kenya on a Tuesday. I was there, and I had a visitor in the house, and the person said, check Twitter. They probably have said why they will take the light, and they would have said when they will bring back the light. Just, I was in Kenya for 12 days, and it was only on that Tuesday they took that light, and it was like 3 or 4 hours. And the government, or the government apologized for that action. Togo is just beside us. The day we went to Togo and Dayo, we were in the house that day, and the light went off. I told them, let's go and check the meter downstairs. Just for us to go from the second floor to the down floor, they brought back the light, and they never took the light again. Now you now went to Egypt, and you're now coming back for us to vote you before you give us light.
I have learned the secret of electricity. Vote me, and I will share it with you.
For light that even country that don't reach half of us. See, at this point, we need to structure this thing and go. We need to go beyond parties. We don't need these parties anymore. Maybe we just narrow it down to just 2 functional parties and let us know that this is what we want to do and make this system work. Give us light. We should not be begging for light to come to the 23 election.
And I don't think another thing is I don't even think that. Look, I don't think any candidate should be assured of a second term anymore in Nigeria.
Yes, exactly.
If you cannot do it in 4 years, don't worry. Let's try someone else.
Let's try someone else. That's true. Because
you say Vision 2020 from 2010, and it's been 3 plus to that 2020 vision. And we are
even 2010 is better than the 2020.
Lexi, let me see if you remember. Lexi, let me see if you remember when we were still going to government college. That when it rains, we will be walking inside water from Bode Thomas to what's this junction before? I think it's second Balewa, or what did they call that bus stop? Before we can take bus.
Yes.
And I think that was Tinumbu, because I know it's like they don't old go like saying that Tinumbu era.
They want yourself when is coming
So like imagine the same problems you were experiencing back then, Obasanjo era.
Yes.
We are still experiencing it till now. And it is still the same
No change.
And we have had Obasanjo, we had Semi Yaradua, we had Jonathan, we had Buhari twice.
I'm pro Jonathan.
And we are still talking about road.
We had Jonathan 1.5.
And we are still talking about road and electricity.
We are still talking about water.
Exactly.
Almost every house in Nigeria is running on board.
From the time we were rising sun till now, they are still calling us leaders of tomorrow. And the tomorrow never reach. The tomorrow never still reach.
I don't even
know what to say about it.
Well, I think from my own side, on a final note, if you are serious about voting for Peter Obi, vote for Peter Obi, but vote for Senate, vote for Labour Party too.
Yes.
If you don't, you have wasted your vote. Exactly.
Vote for Labour Party.
Vote for Labour Party across board. Because if you don't, you have just wasted your vote. Peter Obi alone, with his ministers and special advisors, they cannot do everything by themselves.
They don't across board. People wasted 4 years.
Exactly. And then that is 4 years of people's lives.
The important question we should ask ourselves here, can we wait for another 4 years?
We don't wait since.
It's not possible. People don't jam on anyhow. Jam.
We cried say Baba 8 years ago, and we are still waiting.
My brother, we are still waiting for the say.
Baba never say anything.
He never say anything.
Baba off the mic.
This country.
Because we don't even know if we have a president right now.
Yeah, I think we're on the 35 minutes mark. Shey, you round us up.
So look at
all right.
So look at this.
Okay, Lexi wants to drop a point. Lexi wants to drop a point.
It's just an idea that's coming to me. Now you're in PDP before. You're trying to run for presidency. They didn't allow you. I don't know how true it is, but people keep saying Mekano generator, Mekano this, Mekano that belongs to who. I don't know who can answer that question.
Article
now. Now another saying out there says that we can't have light because there must be importation of what?
Generators, yeah. Those who import generators don't want electricity to work.
Now you know that if you are in PDP, we are still going to be importing generators. You let PDP and to Labour Party, you are not trying to promise us light. So if you are in PDP, will you promise us that same light?
Or if Atiku had won and you were his vice president 4 years ago,
will you not promise us? So this thing is
oh God. Yeah, it's almost like they are just going. The same people are just changing clothes and coming out as new people.
Exactly. It's like is that football? You get signed here. When you finish playing your section, you leave.
No,
get signed somewhere else.
Now like Lukaku, play for Chelsea, play for Inter. Next season, go play for Man U.
Stop it!
Off your mic.
Abu Mayang will go from Arsenal to Arsenal free transfer to Baka. Baka sold him. Player that they got on free, they sold him for 15 million to Chelsea. Now they are trying to get him on loan free.
Get him on loan. Get him back for free again.
Now Nigerian politics is
calculation.
That's Nigerian politics. That's Nigerian politics.
Well,
everybody can
very particular point.
No ideology in political party, nothing. Anywhere belle face.
No vision, no mission. We are just here to.
I can assure you that because one person will win, two people will lose. The two people that lose this election, in 4 years, they are not going to be in the party they are right now.
Exactly.
Yes, most likely possible. That's possible.
It's a repeated circle.
Yeah, Shebi Atiku was in APC at one point. He ran away when they didn't allow him.
Bro.
Oh God, Peter Obi just left PDP 2 years ago, 1 year ago.
PDP. And we heard he also migrated to PDP. It's not like he
exactly. He was in Abga.
He migrated here. Yeah. And now he left it to Labour.
Yeah. So if Labour does not,
I think Labour has in Labour, this formation is even Tinubu.
Exactly. Tinubu is the only one that showed consistency. But
Tinubu creates the party every 4 years.
We'll get to him next time.
You are looking for
we'll do that.
You guys, there's only one person that is consistent in our election or in our history. Is one man, but
and that's Tinubu.
He has never left PDP.
Oh, Shey Wike. True.
We need to look into that.
And that's why, and that's why he's giving them a tough time right now. There's nothing they can do to him.
That's what they talk about. The man is one person that comes out to say the truth. He's the only one that's been in a party from the existence to this time and has never left.
I think that
we say he's a man of ideology.
Has been taking party from AD, recreation to ACN to recreation to trying to start.
But no, that is power consolidation.
There was
power consolidation.
Awolowo was this thing that it was. I'm telling you, Baba is a movement. Anyway, it has been a lovely time today. Yeah. We're able to speak a little bit. But time is such a joke nowadays. Yeah. We open this talk and we decide to pin down people for a lot of things and praise them on a lot of things as well. But time finds a way to just, kick us out. So today we're able to talk about Obi, a little bit of his administrative powers and all and his ideas. But next time we would have someone else to talk about, and we really, really, really hope we are able to take two sides next time instead of just coming to eat one person raw. We should be able to have
we are trying to be non-partisan.
Yes, exactly. So it's going to be nice.
All of them go
best advice given. All of them go hear them. The best advice given today, which has been repeated severally. Please, if you are voting anybody, make sure you vote across the board.
Yeah.
Don't leave it to just the presidency. One person is useless. Exactly. If one person cannot run a family, if one person cannot run a company, one person cannot run the whole country. So please remember that. Put it in mind and work on it.
I want us at the end of the podcast wish our friend, our brother, and our one and only Drizzy an happy birthday.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Who be that? Jay-Z.
I said Jay-Z. When wait till they call him, Jay-Z become your brother. You know you before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Lexi, okay, give us again, so that we.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Before we round up this section, I would like to meet our brother, our friend.
Oh yeah.
Our one and only.
Oh yeah.
Fighter. AKA Drizzy and happy birthday.
AKA National Stadium Cristiano.
So that is happy birthday.
Oh my goodness.
Happy birthday, Drizzy. I think in a way we can dedicate this podcast to him because today is his day. We wish him many more years.
Yeah.
And we can even help him advertise his business because that's our guy.
So we'll give him this platform today.
Exactly.
Collect it.
Business.
Yeah, he's into artworks and signage. Yeah, and he's really doing well. He's doing well.
He has worked for MTN. He has worked for Airtel.
Yeah,
he has traveled far and near, so he's well trusted.
Yeah. Lexi, please give us his Instagram handle so that our listeners may be able to look him up.
Let me open my Instagram handle. Right back.
So if you have anything, billboards, signage, artworks, he's an expert in it.
Is that on this call so that I could also start? I'm coming.
Yeah. And maybe if you use a Street Yarns podcast as your referral code, it can give you discount.
Oh yeah. Right on.
Dio, I can't find it.
I think it's Papi Camille or something.
Yeah, please spell it out.
PAPI then K.
Papi, I was looking for Papi.
KAMIR.
Okay, so PAPI.
Okay, I finished.
Okay.
Camille _brand. KAMIR _brand.
Papi Camille.
Nope.
Okay, I think that Papi Camille is his personal page.
It's business.
Okay.
KAMIR _BRANDS brand.
Okay, so please, guys, help us check his page out. Any business you can give him, we give you our word that he's going to deliver.
So before we round up this show, there's something I want us to always know. No matter how depressed you are, no matter how tired you are, just take a reflection back to your childhood experience. Close your eyes, smile, and shake it, and just know that all will be all right.
Yeah, true. And I also remember I watched a particular thing on Instagram. I think it was a pastor. He said, always remember that whatever your situation is somebody's prayer point.
Exactly.
Whatever level you are right now, there's somebody praying to at least get to that level. So that way, if you think about it that way, you know that, well, maybe you're on a journey. You're still going to get to where you want to get to. Wherever you are right now is not your permanent situation. And change is constant. No be APC kind of change, huh?
Wisdom.
All right, so I think we've really touched all our points today. So we'll see you guys again next time.